As Black women, especially in athletics, we're expected to perform not just to perfection, but beyond perfection. Like, we have to be better than perfect. And the minute that you don't perform to that perfection that everybody wants, you cast aside quick.
Yes.
Very excited to have this conversation. So much to unpack.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You think about all the pressure that you have, not only to perform, but let's think about the pressure that you're getting as a Black female athlete. Like, it was crazy to me to see even Simone Biles, you know, especially as an athlete, I was like, I get it. You know, she has an opportunity to hurt herself, injure herself, and we definitely don't want that for her at all. But then you had these other people like, suck it up.
Oh, yeah.
She's fine, do it.
Let's be honest. If she was a white girl, the whole world would have been like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
Let's make sure we care for her and show her love and protect her. She doesn't have to do this.
Put her in
She's
that bubble.
She's done so much for us already. But as soon as it's Simone Biles, the one who's changed the game, who they still deduct points from for being over excellent, it's like, no, we expect you to continue to be dominant. Even though we're gonna point shave you and cheat you out on your points, we still want you to do what we want you to do. It's complete control.
From my experience, as of lately, especially this past year or so, it's definitely been difficult on my mental capacity, you know, with my case and having to put so much of my personal business out there. For me, I just had to, you know, continue to know who I am.
Talk to us about that.
So back in 2020, January, I had a missed test. And that weekend of the missed test, I went under a procedure of having an abortion. I didn't realize I had the missed test until I got the email from the AIU saying I had a missed test, and then it came to my mind, it was that weekend I had a procedure and I was just in my room, you know, resting, trying to, you know, cope with what the decision I made. It was a big decision, and mentally, just trying to keep my mind, you know, fine and straight. And also, you know, making sure my husband is okay too, because, you know, I took him being a father away from him, so. And then the Olympics didn't happen, so I had all this guilt and this shame that I was feeling, you know, for making this decision that I didn't have to make. So it was so much heavy stuff that I was going through.
That's crazy.
Yes, so I told them I had an emergency procedure and I was, you know, not in the right capacity to answer my door that day. But going back, I did take another test 3 days after that missed test, and that's how I was kind of a little bit confused, because I'm like, how did I miss a test and I just got tested like 3 days ago? And I thought me, you know, telling my story, letting them know the details of everything, how personal it was, and how I was struggling during the time, that they would have compassion or understanding towards what I was going through. Because, I mean, as any human person, I thought would think that way.
Right. Mind you, you got tested 3 days after.
Yeah.
So you knew it wasn't anything.
I've never tested positive for any drugs or anything like that.
Right.
So fast forward, January 2021, my lawyer contacted me and told me they want to give you a tampering case for 8 years suspension. Yes.
Mind you, you did not test. Yeah, we gotta listen to this. She did not test positive for any performance-enhancing drug.
I get this information and I'm like literally hyperventilating. Like I'm like, and I felt like I was about to lose everything.
That you worked hard for.
I made these sacrifices and all that I worked for, and it was just gonna be taken away from me off of a minor mistake. I'm an anti-doper. Like, I don't dope. So why am I being attacked? I'm not being protected. Your mission is to protect clean athletes. And I'm that clean athlete that you're not protecting. So my sanction to me doesn't make sense, because there have been people who have tested positive for drugs who have got way less.
That's where I was going with that, exactly.
I don't know what's the unique thing about me. Maybe it's the color of my skin.
Girl, it's your dominance, baby. We know what it is.
It's your excellence.
You know,
it's your excellence, baby. We know what it is.
I can't make no money. I can't compete at all or make any medals or anything. So I just feel like in the sport, they're doing things to, I don't know, make a point or just try to show an example. Or for whatever
sacrificial lamb.
For whatever reason. If it's about drug testing, there could be other ways to go with it. They didn't have to take it this far. They could have met me with some sort of compassion and just given me a missed test. If it's about the test, just give me a missed test. They turned it around and used what I gave them against me to create this big old fiasco.
The IOC is ran by white European men. So how they gonna speak for or respect or even think about Black,
What we need.
poor women?
Right.
And we even saw it with some rulings with the IOC, with the Olympic Games, with the white fencer.
Who had sexual assault cases back all the way to what, 2013?
13, yeah.
13.
You know,
2013.
intentional, you know, misconduct for so many years, and he get a bypass. He get the benefit of doubt. But I myself can't get the benefit of doubt for just making a technical error.
And he got the special treatment.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He was at the Olympic Games riding clean.
Right. They did everything in their power to make sure he was comfortable, to
Right.
make sure he can do, you know, his job that he's been working so hard for. But when it comes to myself or any other athlete, you know, that's of my color and my stature, we didn't get that same support.
The rule affects you because you are a poor Black elite athlete, and he is a rich white elite athlete in a rich white sport. So
Right.
the rule is to keep you down,
Right.
to hurt you, therefore hurting your family.
Yes.
So where the rule for him is to keep him up, he still gets to compete for Team USA. You know, oh, let's go. All the patriotism in that. We respect a man who says, oh, I'm representing Team USA, even though I raped all these girls or whatever the allegations are, but we can't respect a woman who says, listen, I had to make a tough decision. I was not able to make this test. I'm human for that.
They couldn't understand, you know, my decision makings because they couldn't put themselves in my shoes. And I could just sit there in the hearing just very upset, like how can these, you know, these men tell me what I should be doing and how I should be making decisions?
Exactly.
Especially when they couldn't put themselves in my shoes at all, especially as a woman and a Black woman at that. What people can do is try to understand and give grace and love, because I think that's what's missing mainly in the world, period, is grace and love, especially for our Black women.
For
And I
sure.
think if we are met with that more often, then things will be a lot better and we'll have a better chance when it comes to the world and in sports in general.
Yeah.
There's definitely still hope, and I'm still fighting the fight.
Piggybacking off Brianna's story, I protested at the Pan American Games. I rose the Black fist in the air, Black power, Black unity, because I see oppressed Black people all the time. The very first day after I did it, I got called by a major white supporter, the USA Track and Field Foundation, and they threatened me. They said, bet you better not ever do that again. We don't
Wow.
support that. Mind you, the foundation has given me over $90,000 in support over the years. And as soon as I stood up for the oppressed community, they called me immediately and took that support away immediately.
Wow.
Somebody else also protested. I don't think a lot of people knew that. So it was two of us, one white male, one Black broke. I'm broke because he rich. I'm throwing it out there. So I'm Black broke, he white rich. Who did the media demonize and vilify? I'm a man, I'm too loud, I need to go back to Africa. Who am I to say I don't love this country? Do you think the media targeted him?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. People don't even know that
People
he probably
don't even know
protested.
about
People
it,
don't even
right.
know that he protested.
No.
Y'all didn't know that? There you go.
Yeah, that's news to me.
I didn't know about
today.
it either until you brought it up.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
CNN, Fox News, boy, they ripped me apart.
Wow.
Ripped me apart. He got private letters to say, oh, we're so disappointed in you. Me?
Oh my
What?
gosh.
They tried to use everything against me that they knew that would hurt me as to why I did what I did, instead of me actually pointing out the problem.
You bring up a lot of good points. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. As Black women, especially in athletics, we're expected to perform not just to perfection, but beyond perfection. Like, we have to be better
Absolutely.
than perfect. And the minute that you don't perform to that perfection that everybody wants, you cast aside quick.
Yes. I believe it's the expectations that everybody have and put on us that, you know, puts us in a place of fear. You know, even myself, I was very apprehensive of telling my story because I'm like, okay, I have a lot of faith too, especially with, you know, my situation of, you know, having an abortion. I thought, okay, I have a lot of Christian followers, so I don't know how they're going to receive me having an abortion. I don't know how I'm going to be attacked in the media. So it was that fear of being judged and not knowing how I would be judged is what kept me from telling my story.
We should, talk about your story because not enough of us know who you are and what you've done for the sport.
I'm Maritza McClendon, 2004 Olympic silver medalist and first Black woman to make a U.S. Olympic swim team.
So let's talk about the grassroots with you because I think this is so powerful. The overall foundation and the economics about why Black people don't swim. I feel like it doesn't happen because of our neighborhoods, of our communities. They're so poor. They don't have any resources. We don't have no swimming pools.
And not to mention, it's a life-saving skill.
Yes.
So swimming is the only sport that is a life-saving skill.
Wow.
Yet,
That's right, yeah.
64% of Black people don't know how to swim.
That's me,
Really?
unfortunately.
Hold up now. That was gonna be my question. I was like, do both of y'all know how to swim?
I know.
I do
swim.
not know how to swim, unfortunately.
There's a lot of reasons why Black people don't swim. So it's my passion to continue to share my story. Y'all see I have a lot of hair.
Yes.
When you swim, you see everybody has a very slick cap. I gotta shove all this in that cap, figure out how to make it work. I always share the story, when I made the Olympic team, or when I was trying to make the Olympic team, I actually cut my hair.
Oh, wow.
I cut it, I had never had it so short. It was off my shoulders. I was so upset, but I made a sacrifice just because I just did not want to think about how my cap felt on my head while I was racing.
So you had to conform.
I did.
To the white norm.
Yep.
In order to be comfortable to compete.
Exactly. There was a company called Soul Cap. They created a cap where you can, as a Black woman, and I would say even men too, if they got dreads, you got braids, long hair, natural hair, they created a cap that allows you to keep those and have space in a cap and feel comfortable swimming. Our international federation called FINA, they're there to do technical ruling. So if your swimsuit, there are certain standards. Your swim cap, your goggles, there's certain standards so that it's a level playing field for everybody. Now, when it came to this swim cap, their response was, it doesn't fit the natural form of a head.
The natural form.
Y'all know what that is? Do y'all know
What's
what that
the natural
is?
form? So what is the natural form?
I don't know.
You know what the natural form is? European Caucasus head hair. That's the natural form, right? That's the standard that we live in our world, especially America.
But they took it even further. Here's the icing on the cake. They said, none of our athletes at this level have any need for this cap.
Hold on, R. What was the R? Who is R? On the board. Who's on the board?
They don't look like me. They don't look like you.
They don't look like me.
Swimming is white. It's a white sport. Let's be real. There's 350,000 members at USA Swimming. Less than 2% are Black. There's a girl that's sitting watching the Olympics saying, I have long natural hair. I love it. We're celebrating our excellence and being authentic. And then she also is looking at Simone Manuel, winning gold medals, Natalie Hines getting a bronze medal. Those are women who are inspiring them. But then you have a federation saying, none of our athletes need this swim cap. You're breaking off that inspiration. We're not gonna find the next Black Olympian if we continue to have these barriers and people who don't look like us making these decisions they don't need it.
White people set the tone, right? White Europeans, because they run everything is based off their standard and what they want.
Yep, it's abuse of authority.
Exactly.
I sat in a hearing with a bunch of Europeans fighting against me to pretty much get me out of sport.
You were literally ruled by white European men. How a white man gonna understand you? And understand your life, understand what you've been through. So you can't make money in 5 years. What you gonna do? 5 years without making money in something that you want a gold medal in? You're targeted. They targeted you on purpose. Black women are so far off the spectrum. We are neither white or male. We are the most disrespected. We are the most regarded, and we are the most attacked.
Yes.
So they take away your resources to keep the power. They say, we're gonna take away everything that this girl worked hard for so that she is not able to take care of herself.
Right, and not only myself, I have 6 younger brothers. I was also, supporting them. To have something like that snatched away from me is a bit devastating. And I don't think that, those people could even look at that type of situation and understand that and empathize with me when it comes to that.
When it comes to the IOC, people don't look at that as a problem, right? But they look at what you did as a problem. You missed the test, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Never mind these people who actually control the committee, they actually control the sanctions, and they answer to nobody. They don't consider that a problem. a committee or organization that generates billions of dollars has no one to answer to, that's not a problem. But a missed test is a problem.
Yeah.
Me bringing awareness to social injustice and the oppressed people, oh, that's a problem. Everybody want to focus on this small issue, a missed test. A swim cap, are you kidding me? A cap that goes on somebody's head, but not the corruption at the highest level of the system. They need somebody to answer to. So when are our human rights counsel and lawyers gonna step in? Because your thing was a human right.
Yes,
It
I
had no
agree.
business to do with the IOC or anything other than that nature. Your issue was private, personal. It was a human rights issue, not a drug testing issue that they try to use against you. Imagine if we decided to stop in all sports, in all entertainment, everything, being consumers, supporting these European countries. Imagine if we were to stop. What would happen in this country?
White people be bored and broke.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's keep it real.
We make white people billions of dollars because we are who we are. We do what we do. The IOC, they wouldn't have those millions of dollars to trickle down to athletes if it wasn't for us, Black athletes.
Yep, absolutely.
So how do we create change that is not just performative but actual action?
Yes.
It's the
Your
system being
yep.
controlled by these people who don't represent all people, especially Black women.
Yes.
We have to go into these systems and infiltrate these systems and literally sit at the table to change.
You bring up a good point, sitting at the table. We got to get to the table, not just be there to listen, but actually to be a voice of change.
For real. We gotta command the room.
Yes.
We have to mix up those biases pretty much. It's
Yeah,
too
for sure.
one-sided.
Everything is. I want to see some Black women on the IOC committee. You know, more Black women in Senate, more Black women who are owners, who are ADs, who, you know, own these major corporations and these businesses so that we are represented. We need women, Black people, black in these positions of power so that we are protected. We can't expect somebody who does not look like us, who does not share our fears, our trauma, or our necessities to speak for us. It's not gonna happen.
Nope.
So I think those are the main things that we need to start focusing on first. And then I think everything else will follow.
People who are in leadership right now who don't look like us, take somebody who looks like me and mentor me. Help me get to that. Help the community, create money, create opportunities for our Black people.
Yes.
You know, they always talk about diversity, inclusion. Don't forget that equity part.
I think that athletes in general and oppressed people don't know the power that they have. And it goes into the notion as we are oppressed for a reason, right? The foundation of America was based off of mental oppression for a reason, especially when it comes to Black people, because we are dominant, right? By nature. We learn this in freedom school.
Yes.
Like we are excellent.
Yep.
And people know our power, so they want to, the first thing they do is attack your mind. And they attack your resources. So if you can't think right, you oppressed, and then you can't feed yourself, what you gonna do? You really gonna be out there, right? So I feel like if people, oppressed people, especially Black people, if we knew the power that we had, and if we were taught that, self-education, because they ain't gonna teach us that either,
Yes.
we would know how to fight these things so that it is fair for us. It does work for us. It doesn't keep us at the bottom of the totem pole to where we are now. We gotta know our power, man. And we gotta stop.
I commend you, Gwen. I have
Yes.
been very inspired by you throughout this past year and the strength and the boldness you have and just being able to speak out. It just, I don't know, it touches me so much and I'm very, very inspired.
Thank you. And I'm inspired by y'all too, man. We here, that's why we here.
I agree. We got some serious Black excellence right here.
For sure. And we speaking up and we saving lives.
Yes,
We saving
most
lives.
definitely. Thank you, ladies,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Yes,
Thank God.
absolutely.
Hey, we here. I'm sweating.
Me
I'm
too.
getting- I'm like, I'm
all
gonna say
here
the world.